Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back here in PlayStation Source. And of course, if you guys have not checked it out, this is definitely going to be the part 2 of our part 1 discussion about the whole Blue Box Game Studios conspiracy. Now I'm a little bit swayed. We're going to get into it, of course, this video. But if you guys did show that support and show that love to the first video, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate all support and love and likes and comments on that video. If you haven't checked it out, I would say definitely go check out that video first, just to give you just a backstory about what is going on, because there's, you know, a lot to dissect here, and you probably know what's going on if you're watching this video, but just in case if you don't know, go hit up that first video, and hope you guys enjoyed that video as well. Now let's get into where we are now. This is about a week since everything started. It's Thursday, June 24th of this video's recording, just in case this goes up a day after or whatever, but this should go up the day that I'm recording this right now. Okay, where we are right now, we have a tweet here from Blue Box Game Studios, but before we get into there, leave a like on the video, you know what I'm saying? Show me some love, show me some support, you know what I'm saying? Like, these videos take a little bit of an effort to, you know, do, you know what I'm saying? So definitely hit a like on it, definitely would appreciate that. Subscribe for the stream series, Road 2 series, Save Slot podcast, etc. All the videos as well, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, you know, lore videos and everything. Definitely stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation here on PlayStation Source. But going to the first tweet here, this was tweeted June 21st. They say here on Blue Box Game Studios Twitter, quote, "We wanted to answer the rumors one last time. We are a small indie studio with actual real people working on a passionate game. We want to do a live stream with a Q&A and where you can ask all your questions to clarify every confusion and rumors. We just want to set expectations." So this is where we started to see like a real churn, right? Like, at least for me personally, right? Because like I thought that, you know, this seemed like a very genuine and you know just tweet that seems like it could be legit and we could have some things turning here. But what really nailed down the whole thing is this video, this face reveal. You saw it on the thumbnail. Hasan Kahraman, which I did say his name wrong last video, sorry about that. Hasan Kahraman has spoke. He has spoke. He has spoke. He has spoken. He has spoken. Okay. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello everyone. This is Hasan Kahraman. Just wanted to do a really quick video just to show myself that I'm a real person, and yeah, I'm not really associated with Hideo Kojima. Not an actor. Not working on Silent Hill. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys yeah, my face and that I'm real, and hopefully we'll do a QA very soon. Just have to figure out when it would be, and then we'll talk more. All right, everyone, have a good one.
I don't know, he seems pretty genuine there, you know what I'm saying? He seems pretty genuine. He, you know, guys, this is where the doubt is coming in, honestly. Like, there's been a lot that's come out, and we're gonna get to some more things here as well, that there are a lot of things that are sowing doubt in this whole conspiracy, that this could really end up being an indie developer, or this is an insane, you know, feat of length to keep the Kojima conspiracy alive, and Kojima, you know, wants to reveal himself later on. Like, I'm not so sure about that, guys. Let's go on and see some more stuff, because Jason Schreier, yes, Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, previously with I believe Kotaku. So Jason Schreier had an interesting interview with the man himself, Hasan Kahraman, and had some few things to say about the overall speculation. So overall, I'll link it down below in the description. You can read the whole thing. It's a very good read, honestly, but it does recap a lot about what we talked about in part 1 of this video series about the conspiracy and everything. So go read it, get yourself filled in and everything. But I specifically took out the excerpts that we see Hasan quote and literally speak. Okay, so this is just going to be what Hasan is saying, involving some context as well, but the full article is down below in the description. Let's go over them one by one. In an hour-long interview with Bloomberg, Kahraman attempted to demystify several of the assertions underlying the conspiracy. His game has no connection to Kojima, his studio consists of, quote, a network of friends, and he is a trained game developer, not an actor, he said. A piece of new evidence supports that last point. Kahraman has regularly posted for the last 3 months on a forum for Unreal Engine game developers, answering questions and responding to others, according to screenshots shared with Bloomberg by a game developer unrelated to any of this, who asked not to be identified because the forum is private. Hasan goes on to say, quote, it doesn't matter how much I try to debunk all of this, Kahraman said. People don't believe it. They just expect something that's not out there. It bothers me. But then we get into some interesting kind of backstory about Blue Box. There's some stuff that has now been unraveled, or maybe was there, maybe I just didn't see it, I don't know. But this is some new information regardless about Blue Box Game Studios. Blue Box tried to raise just under $12,000 from a Kickstarter campaign in 2015 to make a horror game called Rewind. The crowdfunding project ended with $207 in pledges. Kahraman canceled the Kickstarter, writing that Rewind would be, quote, fully funded by a private investor, but the game never came out. A different game connected to Blue Box was buggy and poorly received when it debuted last year. So definitely keep that in mind, guys, that he had a failed Kickstarter of, that only garnered $207, which the target was $12,000, but it was allegedly fully funded, at least what he says during the time, that it was fully funded by a private investor, and then it never came out, right? Just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking with a Dutch accent, Kahraman said Abandon has been in development since 2017, although the concept was changed a lot of times. He said the Blue Box team consists of 10 people and that he had outsourced work to several other studios, which accounted for the 50 figure he mentioned earlier. He said he'd attracted the attention of Sony in 2015 following the failed Kickstarter. So let's stop here for a second. So we're going to talk about some of the different studios that was outsourced to work on this game as well in a little bit, but I want to touch on the specific thing of, like, he said he attracted the attention of Sony in 2015 following the failed Kickstarter. I have never heard of Sony like really caring about a Kickstarter that only garnered $200 out of 12,000 for the stretch goal. Like, I don't know how that actually checks out. You know what I'm saying? I did ask my boy Christian of JoyClicks, by the way, youtube.com/JoyClicks, and he gave me the good insight that, hey, in 2017 we still had people like Adam Boyes on the team for the indie scene and everything in PlayStation, so maybe they were more inclined, and maybe they were more welcoming to a smaller Kickstarter to be lumped in and funded under Sony. That could definitely be the case, but I still think it's a little bit odd that Sony would get the attention, or would have any sort of attention, or like any care in the world really, for a small Kickstarter like the one that Blue Box Game Studios and Kahraman had back in 2017. That's just my thought. What do you guys think down in the comments below? But the conversation raised many more questions. Kahraman would not make other members of his team available for interviews and would only identify one who didn't respond to a request for comment. Kahraman said he had signed a contract with Sony but wouldn't offer specifics. He also said the game was funded by investors but wouldn't say who. Quote, there is a reason for that, but I really can't talk about it. I mean, I understand, contracts, NDAs, I totally get it, right? But again, we just got to keep in mind here that, like, that's just what was said. We really have no information about that, right? So that's just how that goes. In the follow-up message, Kahraman said he plans to hold a live stream video, like he said in the video. He said, quote, people need it fast, he said, which I agree. And the last part here that I want to read is Kahraman said Abandon would be properly revealed within the next month, and that he hoped it would put an end to the conspiracy theories. Quote, if people still continue to believe in this rumor, that's up to them. And so the one thing I will say here is that I like that he says it's going to be revealed within the next month. Maybe that means that it will be revealed as Say a Play. That definitely seems to be rumored and talked about a lot in the community, so hopefully that Say a Play happens sooner than later, and maybe this is a clear thing that like a clear indication that maybe it is happening. But I do believe that people will still not believe him, like, regardless, right? And like, I have shifted my thoughts a little bit on that. We will get to that later on in the video, but I'm still a little bit skeptical. Kahraman, just a little bit. So that's pretty much the bulk of what he said in the Jason Schreier interview. Once again, it's on Bloomberg, link below in the description to the Bloomberg article that I just referenced and just showed you guys all the quotes and everything. But within that article as well, they did bring up the fact that, you know, there are 6 or 7 studios that are working with Blue Box Game Studios on Abandoned, right? And they did cite and name 2 of them. Okay, so one of them is Dekugan Studios, which they do assets for different games. They do scene layouts, design, 3D modeling and stuff like that, and they've worked from the likes of, you know, AAA development to indie game development as well, so they have a nice, you know, kind of fluctuation there. And they've worked on games like PUBG, Gears of War, Predator Hunting Grounds, Firewall 0 Hour, and Control, and more as well. And so they definitely have, you know, a lot of you know, different games that they have been working on as well, and that they have worked on in the past. So there is that studio. Then they have another studio called New Air, I think is how you say it, but New Air Studios, which they have a similar outsourcing type of, you know, offering for their company and everything, the same as Dekugan Studios, but they've worked on Marvel's Avengers, Halo Infinite, but we get a little bit more juicy with these next few games. They have worked on Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us Part 2, and Kojima's very own Death Stranding. So while, you know, they are, you know, clearly here citing these real studios, these are real things, you know, Dekugan and Newware, they have credentials, they have portfolios and everything, but Newware even went a step further. They went so far as to tweet a literal blue box, right? Like they did that, and then they also put out a video that was trying to, once again, do the similar thing of what Hasan did in his video, trying to calm down the speculation, you know, kill this conspiracy theory and everything. And this is what he had to say on Twitter.
Hello everybody, my name is Leo Yanin and I am a founder of Noir Studio. It's nice to meet you. Recently Hasan asked us to film a short introduction video about Noir to explain about our role, how we are involved into the project, that we are all real people with names, that we are working hard to bring you the best possible experience. So here we are, let's jump in. Noir is a company of more than 70 game industry professionals working hard on different AAA titles, as well as great companies, the part of which you can find on our website. And our goal as a company is to create the best possible art assets for our partners. No need to say that we are very excited to work with our friends from Blue Box Studios on their new game project. So here's that. Thank you again. Later.
So look, man, there are a lot of things working against this conspiracy. I can be the first one to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I was on the train on the, you know, part 1 on that video, but now, you know, maybe I'm hanging off the train. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of hanging off the train, but we do have some more evidence here that are kind of just fun things I just want to bring up that could be more inclined to the belief that this is Kojima, right? My boy Owen in the Discord, once again, link below in the description to that Discord server for PlayStation Source. He says here that there is the font for Abandoned. It's called Antonio. There's a street in San Antonio, Texas called Silent Hills. That one a little bit far-fetched, because I'm sure there's a lot of street names in the US named Silent Hills, right? But it is, you know, conspicuous that, of course, there's one specifically in San Antonio, right? We'll give you a little nod there, but you know, that one I'm not too hot on. But the one that he pointed me out to this weekend while I was at work that really got my attention was that Konami followed Kojima this weekend randomly. I'm sure all of you guys are very much well aware that back in 2015 they had a very, very big fallout after MGS5. It was a very, you know, not a lot of details were, you know, just said about that whole fallout, but there was a lot of bad blood in the water with that whole relationship, and it essentially ended. But here we have Konami following Kojima randomly out of nowhere. That is very interesting. You know, I'm not saying that's anything other than what it is, but I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna just keep that in mind, because that one is that's a big one. That's a big one that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, but that is weird. And if, I mean, the last time I checked, which was yesterday, they are still following each other on Twitter. So very interesting right there. But we did have an update from Blue Box Game Studios for the app that we will be covering here on the channel as well, by the way. This app that was supposed to be released on the 22nd of June, but it is now releasing on Friday, June 25th. They say here, quote, on Twitter, the abandoned trailer app got delayed for 3 days. Due to localization issues, we had to delay it. Apologies for this. Launching Friday the 25th. Also, the app will kick off an introduction to get you introduced with its purpose and how to use the app. So that's a weird description. And I will say that all of their tweets sound very, very weird. Like, you know, as you know, I just feel like their tweets, you know, to me sound Google Translate Englishy. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I think. I don't know. We'll see. But let's talk a little bit about what happens if we're wrong, right? Because there's a lot of evidence here. There's a lot of things that have been said over the past few days that are really swaying my opinion on, you know, how concrete I feel that, you know, this Blue Box Game Studios game, Abandoned, is actually Kojima making a game, or Silent Hills, right? Like, I'm a little bit on the fence, man, because there's a lot here that, you know, there are a lot of things turning here from a lot more people other than Blue Box Game Studios that are really telling that this could really just be an indie game. And like, I think, you know, obviously you can probably predict it here as well. A lot of people are going to be very upset if it's not Kojima. A lot of people are going to be very, very, you know, they're just going to want to light Twitter on fire. Like it is going to be insane. But the one thing, like, I still question about, you know what I'm saying, is like, I know, you know, if it is an indie game, right, if this doesn't involve Kojima at all, right, like, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about, you know, not hearing from Konami, right? They own the Silent Hills IP, and there's a lot of talk about this, you know, game being a Silent Hills game. Like, I figured they would have shot this down, right, early on, right, to say that, hey, we are not affiliated with Blue Box Game Studios for any capacity at all, right? You know, why hasn't Kojima said anything? I mean, I kind of get why Kojima hasn't said anything, because I think he just doesn't care really, but maybe, I don't know. And, you know, why hasn't Sony said anything? And maybe, you know, the reason why Sony hasn't said anything is because Sony, you know, maybe doesn't want to speak on behalf of the developer pertaining a game that they themselves are working on that Sony is not working on. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that as well. But I just think it's very weird still that we still have a lot of silence here, but they have cited a lot of people talking that seem to give it some credibility that this could be just an indie game and there is no Kojima game, right? Like, it could definitely be the case. What I'll leave off here, right, is that yes, we saw Hasan Kahraman's face. We did see that, but we also saw a little man named Joaquin Mogren's face as well, or Modron, however you say it. He was the fake game developer for Moby Dick Studios for the Phantom Pain that Kojima did back in the day on the lead up to Metal Gear Solid 5, which, by the way, we are streaming that. The game is insane. Love the game so far. But, you know, there's also a little thing that I forgot to mention too in the first video, was that Joaquin Mogren is an anagram for Kojima, right? On top of that, Keeley did the interview for that thing, which I didn't realize that Keeley did it, but there's no way he's not involved. I don't know, guys. I'm just, you know, I'm gonna say of confusion. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how this goes. I will keep covering it for you guys. We're gonna do a live, you know, trailer app thing once it goes live and everything, and yeah, we'll see how this all unfolds. But let me know, guys, down below. Did any of this sway your opinion? What are your thoughts now that they've developed over time? Now that we've gone through almost a week of this whole thing, what are your thoughts? Let me know how you're feeling about the Blue Box Game conspiracy down below in the comment section. Also, while you're down there, hit up that description. Find links to our Twitter, Discord, and our Anchor link that will equal into our long-form content in podcast format. Those, of course, being the last episode of Road to Rip Apart is dropping on Friday, the 25th of June. Definitely get hyped for that. Hate to see a Road to series end, but, you know, there'll be more coming in the future. Safe Slot Podcast, we're going to talk about, you know, maybe the main topic is probably going to be the Insomniac Games multiplayer project as well. Definitely be on the lookout for that, and plenty of videos in the future involving Ratchet & Clank Ripped Apart, lore details, and all that good stuff. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about when I think the sale play is happening for, you know, this season of the year. We got a lot of stuff coming, so thank God for supporting us. Thank God for watching, and as always, make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank God for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.